attending this
Let's acknowledge the presence likewise of Senator Ronald De La Rosa. General Counsel.
Yes. The Honorable Executive Secretary is here with Undersecretary Leonardo Roy Cervantes. Present today representing the Department of Agriculture is Assistant Secretary James Layug. Representing the Department of Trade and Industry are the following: Attorney Melquiades Marcos N. Valdez and Mr. Joel Buwag. The National Economic Development Authority, Your Honor, is represented by Undersecretary Crystal Lin Tan Uy.
Get around? Is she around? Hi, yes, I'm sorry.
The Bureau of Customs, Your Honor, is represented here by its Commissioner, Commissioner Bienvenido Y. Rubio. The Sugar Regulatory Administration, Your Honor, is represented by the Acting Administrator and Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Pablo Luis S. Ascuna. As Miller's representative and board member of the association, Ms. Maria Mitzi Mangwag is present. Representing the All Asian Counter Trade Incorporated is its CEO and beneficial owner, Mr. Michael Escalera. Representing Mega Q-Mart, formerly a vendor in Mega Q-Mart, Ms. Carissa Gumba. Representing the Philippine Food Processors and Exporters Organization, or PhilFoodEx, is its current president, Mr. Ruben C.
Why are you seated in the gallery section? You're supposed to be a resource person. Paige, can you assist the resource person?
Yes, Your Honor. The last on the list, Your Honor, Mr. Chairman, is Mr. Manuel Lamata, President of United Sugar Producers Federation, or UNIFED. Those are all present, Your Honor, Mr. Chairman.
I noticed the absence of several invited resource persons, notably members of the cabinet, who should have been here, and they would have given critical information and testimony. I noticed likewise specifically the absence of Secretary Arsenio Balisacan, the absence of the former SRA Administrator David John Alba, likewise the absence of Secretary Alfredo E. Pascual of the Department of Trade and Industry, as well as the glaring absence of Undersecretary Panganiban of the Department of Agriculture. Before we administer the oath, may we know from the good Executive Secretary the reasons for the whereabouts of all the resource persons I just mentioned. If you can apprise this committee, Mr. Executive Secretary, bakit po wala sila ngayon sa araw ng pagdinig na ito? You have the floor.
Yes. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of this committee. Secretary Balisacan is presently in Vancouver because of a prior scheduled trip. He will be away for until May 11. Secretary Pascual is right now in Indonesia attending to a ministerial level conference, and he will be there until the ASEAN summit, which will be for up to May 11 also, Your Honor. As to Undersecretary of Agriculture Panganiban, he is right now in Washington, D.C. on official mission. All of these three, Your Honor, would have come here if the schedule were different. But it happens that their trips coincided with our meeting today.
So, ES Bersamin, pero nagpapasalamat kami at nandito ka. But just the same, hindi po natin mahalukay po yung ilalaman nito kung wala po yung mga nabanggit ko. So, they are vital to the investigation that this committee will be undertaking. Kaya mahihirapan po siguro tayong tumuloy kung wala sila. Although maraming naririto sa inyo, we will be requiring you to take your oath as well as affirm the contents of your affidavits submitted, if you have submitted. And then I will discuss with the members of this committee how to proceed. But nakakalungkot po yan na pangalawang hearing na ho natin ito na sana ay masimula na at matapos na. Sana masimula na at matapos na. Ganun pa man, sa mga naririto, magkakaroon pa tayo ng susunod na pagdinig kasama yung mga nabanggit ko na wala ngayon. Mr. Executive Secretary, may papangako po ba natin na sa susunod na pagdinig ay dadalo na sila?
Yes, I think so, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. The Undersecretary of Agriculture will be in Washington until May 13. If we could schedule his appearance after that, he will be available. As to Secretary Pascual and Secretary Balisacan, I think the same is true for them. The Executive Secretary, Your Honor, will always be at your disposal.
Maraming salamat. Maraming salamat, Executive Secretary. Pero Executive
Mr.
Secretary, although he is no longer part of the government bureaucracy, si Mr. David Alba, former acting administrator of the Sugar Regulatory Administration, submitted a letter. I have a photocopy in my possession. Siya naman po ay humihingi ng paumanhin na hindi siya makakadalo ngayon dahil siya ay nasa Australia hanggang June for personal reasons. Ito po ba ay matutulungan nyo kami na si Mr. Alba ay makadalo rin dito sa pagdinig ng Blue Ribbon Committee?
I am just presuming, Your Honor, that his being away in Australia right now must have been due to health reasons. Because he resigned his position due to being in dire health condition. We tried to convince him to stay on, but he just wanted to undergo some processes. We cannot tell when he will be due, but if his letter says
June.
he can return by June, I don't see any reason why he will not appear here after he arrives.
Thank you, Mr. Executive Secretary.
Mr. Chair.
Senator Tiveros, is this an opening statement or?
Not yet, Mr. Chair,
Not yet.
in line with the
Yes.
points of the chair so far. Salamat, Chair. I'm glad to hear na sisiguruhin na in the next hearing, Yusek Panganiban will be here as well as the Chair has directed former Administrator Alba. Kung maaari po, Chair, sa susunod na hearing, nandito rin po yung CONFED. I'm glad that UNIFED is also here through Mr. Lamata, but I hope that in the next hearing, CONFED, which is actually even bigger, will also be here, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. The committee secretary, General Counsel, take note of that. Maraming salamat, Mr. Executive Secretary, dun sa pangako nyo na sa susunod, dadalhin nyo na, pipilitin nyo makasama rito yung ilang mga miyembro ng gabinete na wala ngayon Subalit nung binanggit nyo yan, Mr. Executive Secretary, hindi pa ho kayo under oath. Wala namang epekto yan. Word of honor po yan.
We will exert effort to ensure the appearance of all the relevant resource persons. This committee will require us to invite, or which this committee invites.
Tama po. The committee is inclined to proceed with a discontinuance pursuant to Section 17 and 18 of the rules governing investigations. The committee likewise is taking notice of Article 6, Section 5 of the rules of the Blue Ribbon Committee, wherein the absence of vital witnesses can lead to a postponement until further notice of an investigation. Kasi kulang po yung, wala po dito, wala tayong mapapatunguhan dito